broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey there, Helix fans. Welcome back to the Helix After Show here on AFTERBUZZ TV. Talking about Season 2, Episode 4, Den Show. I'm Matt Lieberman. And joining me as always, Mr. Stephen Lemieux is here.
I am here.
Please welcome back Miss Liz Rishmawy.
I don't got the zizz anymore.
Yes, and Mr. Zach Wilson is
I'm
here.
gonna zizz all the time.
Ew.
All in front of us in the studio? Gross.
I'm not cleaning that
Look,
up.
when the zizz comes, it comes. You can't help it.
Phrasing!
Oy vey's-mir.
I can't even take credit for that. That was unintentional.
To those of you who are joining us live, hello, welcome.
AFTERBUZZ TV.
Views expressed herein are those of the host only.
Is that a thing we do now?
That's Mark Donica hitting buttons on the soundboard. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Mark Donica a hand.
Our wonderful engineer, Mark Donica. We are streaming live to YouTube right now. If you're watching us on YouTube, hello. You can tweet at us live during the show and also at any time during the week about your thoughts on Helix at the hashtag ABTVHelix or at the hashtag Ziz, Z-I-Z. You can find me on Twitter at Matt Lieberman. That's MATTLIEBERMAN.
You can find me on Twitter at Stephen Lemieux, STEPHEN, LEMIEUX.
Hey guys, you can find me on Twitter at Lizzie Maui. That's LIZZYMAWY.
I'm searchable at that Zach Wilson.
Yes, that's true.
So searchable.
Zach with a CH.
Yeah, folks, and if you're not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, you should totally do so. A lot of our live streams are moving over there, a lot of great content. We put out over 100 shows a week, so if you're not subscribed, you should be. Go to youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV.
So we got to say this off the bat.
Yeah.
Tiffany Greshler, the writer of this episode, 204, was going to be joining us live, but she blew a tire out on her way here and unfortunately could not join us. But she was going to be joining us for episode 210.
For a second, I thought you were going to say, like, she blew it, but she blew it.
I hear episode 210 is also written by Tiffany Greshler, and I hear it's one of the weirdest and craziest episodes of the season.
I'm sure that it will be, yeah.
I think her tire was probably taken out via samurai sword.
Or by mutant
sting.
bee sting, yeah. Or by just a hatchet that got chopped in half. Could just be the splintery end.
Yeah,
But
either one.
Don't lose hope, guys, because we have Neil Napier next week. And then we have Mark Ganime the week after that.
That's our secret special guest, is Mark Ganime.
I didn't want to announce it till after this episode, guys.
That's
just
true, because you didn't want to spoil that reveal.
But yeah.
That
Shades of
sweet,
Sergio.
sexy reveal, though.
He's looking pretty ill.
Yeah.
Aria.
Oh, God damn it, Stephen. All right.
Welcome back, Matt.
Let's talk about this episode. What the ever-loving flip is going on?
I don't know.
On this show. Let's talk Julia and Hatake. Okay?
Julia.
Yeah.
Julia.
Cause, right, this is easily, and this is a weird show.
Really?
I know. Shocker. But this is easily the weirdest plot line ever on this show, and I don't understand where it's going. I'm not sure if I like it. I would rather see Hatake used in a different way.
Not to mention, can I just say, I mean, he's how old did we even try to figure out? He's hundreds of years old, right?
We don't
you would
know.
figure, with all the crap he must have been through in his life, that this is the breaking point. This is where
That's
he
what I was
loses his
thinking.
mind. Really?
Well, this was
Really?
what put him over the edge, but I don't know. I still don't know if this is actually Hatake.
I mean, we talked about it last week.
He's got beautiful hair, though.
Is it reasonable that this is what pushes him over? And I think that it's safe to say that it's different. Like, yes, he's lived for hundreds of years. He's probably loved and lost, but like he lost like his wife his son. He like got his daughter back and then lost her again to Ilaria. I think that's it. All of it happening at once is just like this thing he spent his whole like so many years building in Arctic biosystems destroyed. And like I think all of that combined is enough to mess with anyone's head.
I guess, but I would also think that like maybe having a slight mental breakdown in the first couple of years, but this is also 30 years later.
Well, okay, this being the Helix after show, I need to throw out a theory.
All right.
Because a lot of stuff in this plot line seems too strange and or too convenient. So, like, first of all, who was that guy that Julia ran into and was held captive by in the first episode? What happened to him? Where'd he go? We've got this whole Hatake thing, Hatake being damn fool crazy, and also having access and having preserved the bodies of Daniel and Jay over the course of 30 plus years. 30 plus years transporting them to this island. We don't know why he's in the island, and it seems to be that a lot of this is Julia grappling with her lingering issues with having a father who is kind of an awful bioterrorist in his own way, and not a great father.
Begrudging bioterrorist.
But I wonder, is this whole plot line Julia sweating it out as she's dying from this disease and having a vision where she is actively trying to solve the problem?
So I'm thinking it could be something like that, but then you also think of what's real and what's not real, and that there could be some because it was 2 episodes when we start seeing the blurry vision.
Yeah.
So, and that was right after the guy tells her, "Don't go to this part of the island. It's not a good place to go. You shouldn't go there because you probably die."
Peace out.
Yeah. So, suffice to say, there could be at some point
Suffice to say.
I'm going to say it how I want to say it. Suffolk to say.
I suffered to say.
Right.
Anyway, I am suffering to say this.
Did she
At some point, going to that part of the island could have come under the effect of some kind of drug.
Do we remember, did she eat or drink anything in with that?
He did. Remember, because she's like, "Oh, this
guy.
is good. This is like was like chili or some crap," and she's like, "Oh, this is tasty." But I don't think that's what it was. I think we're just kind of like.
Well, but in this episode, we have this parallel of people getting sick because they consumed something. So that would seem a logical comparison if, like, the people in current day are getting sick because they ate this crazy honey, and her getting sick because she ingested whatever it was.
I have a question too. As far as like him preserving the bodies and having them all these years later, wasn't Daniel's body
when it blew up?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, how do you even have that?
That's
Hers
my
is
point.
different.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense that he would have his body. It doesn't make sense, which is why I'm going with that, sick
gaping
and
neck hole.
sweating and fever theory. But then someone else in the room had a theory that what if she was trapped in one of those
Machines that Jay was in.
the box that kept her alive for all those years? What if after the explosion, her body was in such a poor state, or because they thought maybe she was in league with Alan, they trapped her in one of those boxes?
I don't think that. I think it was true after Arctic Biosystems that she went and worked for Ilaria.
Right.
I think that is true.
Well, we had that confirmed this week.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think now we know that Mark Ganime is working for Arctic Biosystems, so we know Julia and Sergio. Yes, Bioceros. I think that her and him were working together with whatever brought them into Ilaria. But I think that everything with Hatake on the island and all of this entire storyline, since she split up with the guy who could hypothetically be Jordan's son.
Oh, well, maybe not anymore.
No.
That theory's kind of out the window.
Not really.
Not 100%. I mean,
Someone stuck a big knife in her theory.
Think of this. Somebody sticks a knife in her.
Well done,
all right?
sir.
Yeah.
Say she's done. Stick a fork in her. She's done. They take the baby out to save her because they can't save both. Then the baby starts growing on its own.
But how is the baby growing if the baby's immortal?
Maybe the baby's
It's
not
stuck.
immortal.
No, but it is because
it's getting blood from her.
No. It's it's only not growing because it got the Oh, but I guess it got the injection when she did, because we established that the children of silvers do not necessarily are not necessarily silvers.
Yeah.
Because Julia was not born a silver, even though Hatake was a silver when she was born.
So hypothetically, if
that's
that
like my head hurts.
if that baby could come out, it could be that guy who's 30 years later.
So it could go. We don't have the mythology set up enough to decide either way if the baby would be silver or not. It's such a complicated thing because with this not immortal, like maybe immortal baby inside an immortal woman.
Maybe immortal baby.
Can I just say I wish this show was a Netflix original so that we could just binge the whole thing and find out what's going on now.
Yeah.
I don't wish that. I really like Syfy's programming. They release really good shows that I enjoy watching weekly.
We mean that sincerely and wholeheartedly. We wish that we could just get them all at once. Though.
Yes,
that's what we're talking about.
That's what we mean.
It's just about release style. It's not about the quality of your network. I deeply enjoy it. Also, can we just give a round of snaps to the Andy Griffith moment? That gag was so funny. It was so funny. Oh my God,
happy.
I laughed.
And then he threw the rock. He actually, Daniel, he's like, duh, and he's like, and he literally leans over and picks up the rock and throws it. It's just.
Yeah.
Such a weird scene, but so fun.
It's just so
It's complete fan service.
Does anybody else love Hatake and how he's just the way he's talking? He's like, I promise I'll make it up to you next time. Oh, okay. Just this whole kind of
hunky-dory, folksy, weird sitcom. And
flowing herbal essence
And
hair.
that's why I think it plays to Stephen's theory about her being maybe in one of those boxes or maybe something similar. I like the idea that Ilaria is now fully controlling her. Maybe not when she got to the island, but at some point during that this is all not totally, maybe not a dream sequence, but that she is somehow being controlled and influenced.
Well, hold on, right? Are you saying that she's been controlled and influenced since she got there after Arctic Biosystems? Because we never established why she started working for them.
Yeah.
Because that was how many months later?
It was maybe
3, 4, 5.
It was 200 days.
It was 200 days later, so about 6 months.
Yeah.
6-7 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Question: I don't remember the order of events. Did we see Hatake talking to Daniel and Jay before we saw him meet up with her?
Yeah.
We did.
Because that's when Daniel turned around and said, somebody's coming, father. And he said, okay. And then he turned around and you saw that nothing was there. The rabbits weren't there.
Yeah, I really, elaborating on this thing where this is mostly in her head for Julia, it just makes a lot more sense when, especially with that Andy Griffith theme scene, because the whole thing she says is you always loved Daniel more, so in her mind that's the relationship they had. Oh, let's go fishing, father, let's go do this, father. And then Jay was the one who's kind of on Julia's side in her mind, and then Haki's not.
Even last episode, when he was having this discussion by himself basically, but it was with Daniel and Jay said no, she's not ready, she's not ready to join. Basically Jay was fighting for him not to fill her up with that preservative stuff.
I think it was embalming fluid.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying though is that and then does anybody else notice that whatever the embalming fluid or whatever it is, that's the same color stuff that they showed a couple episodes earlier with the cults using it on people?
And I don't think that's exactly true.
Yeah.
It was milky color.
They don't really.
That was
a lot of things are milky
white,
colored.
And these were and the cult stuff was milky yellow.
That was a whole milk. This was 1% or something.
Or that was raw milk and this was whole milk, but pasteurized.
Oh no, definitely skim milk. It was too watery.
Skim milk. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Regardless.
Guys, we're just lactating stupid things right now.
Yeah,
so let's.
But here, just one more stupid thing, or not stupid, however you may take it. Oh damn it, we went so off on that bit that now I can't even remember.
Milky white stuff.
No, before that. I guess I wanted to talk about the fight.
The samurai sword.
The fight and the samurai sword. That's what I was coming to.
Look,
so
if all we got out of this episode was axe versus samurai sword fight, I'm on board.
Ridiculous axe versus samurai sword fight. And
of course he had a samurai sword.
Well choreographed fight, well performed fight, well shot fight, strange fight to just have. But the sword was marked Densho, which is a Japanese word meaning essentially legacy. Is a rough translation. And that's the theme of the episode. And if we are processing this all as a dream and not as reality, because that's how I would prefer to take it, because I really don't want this to be the reality. If it is processing it as a dream, then it's Julia coming to grips with the fact that she is a Silver Eyes, that she is going to forever be the daughter of this guy who invented the Narvik virus. She will have to take on his legacy, the good and the bad, at some point. So maybe that's
exactly what he said to her in the end. Like, there will always be a part of you that is me.
Yeah, and maybe that's just, it's her processing that.
Perhaps.
Julia, you are my legacy.
We don't think that the whole 30 years is a dream, right?
No.
I think only up
Okay.
to the point when she left that guy.
Because we were worrying earlier in the season about how we get Julia back with our team if we're 30 years in the future.
I think
And I
that
don't
30
want
years
that-
never passed.
I like the 30-year thing so much, but like I guess it would get Julia back to get everyone back together if it wasn't real.
Well, the other theory I was having that I'm not quite sure about is Hatake's going to cure her, and right now she's still in her chemically induced coma from the first time he drugged her. And then everything since drinking that cup of coffee has been false. Like, she never really woke up from drinking that cup of coffee.
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
And that's the first blackout that I can think of where it would have switched Julia from being actually happening to this is an alternate version of what's happening.
Okay. I can get on board with that timeline.
Yeah. I don't know.
So we got a lot of other stuff in this episode to
That's
talk about.
true, but before we do, I gotta talk real quick about iTunes, because folks, the best way for you to support AfterBuzz TV is to go to iTunes, rate and review the shows that you listen to or that you watch on YouTube. It's quick, it's easy, and it only takes a second. You know, AfterBuzz TV puts out over 100 hours of free after-show content every single week on YouTube, on iTunes, on Stitcher. It's a massive undertaking, and it's the widest array of after-show, free after-show
bigger than
content.
Aria.
It's true. Widest array of free after-show content anywhere on the web. And the only way that we're able to do that is with our great, fantastic sponsors. They find us through our YouTube subscriptions. They find us through our iTunes subscription, through our iTunes reviews. They want to know that our products, our podcasts are well reviewed, that they're well liked by our fans, and that they are well trafficked. So get to iTunes, let us know how you feel about the shows. It helps immeasurably, and you get a great shout out here on the show.
Yes, you do.
And from Playa7589, love this podcast, 5 stars. I love Helix, but this podcast makes me love it even more. Period. I am so happy season 2 has started for both the show and the podcast. I've listened to season 1 podcast episodes multiple times to get my fix during the hiatus. Matt is my favorite AfterBuzz host.
Thank you, radio narration robot.
Do you know what you've done?
Radio narration robot is my favorite side character on AfterBuzz TV. He gets so depressed when he's not the favorite.
Yes. I do want to point out, because I just remembered, and I forgot that it wasn't during season 1, but you guys are fans of Neil Napier, of course.
Of course.
Obviously.
He plays Alan, right?
No,
Peter.
What?
I mess with you guys. If anyone saw X-Men Days of Future Past, you will have recognized him for
I
that
started
10-minute...
smacking the person next to me in excitement.
Have I seen that with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like, let's do.
Nobody else around me knew what was happening, like why I was suddenly so excited. But it was awesome. Neil played Mystique.
I think I tweeted Neil, and I was like, what's the actress's name?
Jennifer Lawrence.
I was like, Jennifer Lawrence never looked so hot, Neil. Come on.
That was just a side note that I remembered. But guys, if you are a fan of Helix, you will see him
back to Helix.
Yes, because we got less than a half an hour to break down the rest of this episode. So Peter and Alan, brothers at war.
It's like Oasis.
Yeah. So Peter
crowbar in your head.
stages finding Alan. Whoopsie daisy. And I'm glad that Alan's smart enough by episode's end to be like,
Bro.
yeah, that doesn't quite line up.
Well, in season 1, he was asking the questions. It finally seems like he's getting some answers for himself now. He learned how to erase the question marks away from his statement.
Yeah.
Even
and now
then,
he just
he's like, I'm not playing 20 questions.
It's because he grew a beard.
It is.
Beard provides answers.
I just realized how alone I am in this podcast.
There's a lot of beard in this room.
Step your game up, Liz.
Stop it. All right, so let's talk about what's going on with these brothers, right? Because do we think Alan didn't know that he was working for Ilaria before that phone call?
I don't think he did before.
I think he had suspicions.
We knew from the end of last season that Peter was working for Ilaria.
Right.
But we never, and then they were still getting, when they got together in that last scene. So why?
In Paris.
Yeah, so there's no way that Alan would have had anything to do with him if he knew that he was working for Ilaria at that point. So I think this is like the big revelation.
Yeah, I don't think he knew. And I don't think he even had an inkling. But when he hears it, the pieces all fall into place.
Yeah. Not to mention the fact we have to remind ourselves that, for whatever reason, there's this tension, this hatred, but it's more so because Alan became crazy and blew up a place and he had a bunch of warrants and stuff out for him. He's a criminal on the run. So that's what, for all we know, why they kind of had this disdain about each other. But now we know that Alan has more reason to not trust
Alan
Peter.
on the run.
So,
God.
So Peter is asking Alan all these questions about what he's doing on the island. Alan's not giving up any answers. We still don't know why Alan is there. We know that he is investigating. He thinks that whatever's going on here, Ilaria is behind it.
Yes.
But we know that because Peter is there trying to snatch up whatever they're doing, that cannot be the case.
Well, he was asking Sergio on the phone. He was even like, what is going on here? Does Ilaria have anything to do with this? Like, what are we doing here? I think we need to bail. So it almost seems like whatever is playing around here, if Ilaria is behind something, I don't think Peter, he definitely doesn't have full knowledge as to what's going on.
Right, he has not been briefed.
He might not even know if Ilaria is behind this outbreak. He might have just been sent there from the CDC and kind of like in cahoots with Ilaria, but not knowing that Ilaria was behind it.
Well, it fits last year's formula if Ilaria sort of made sure that this team came in there, like they brought in the CDC intentionally for other purposes. But we've already seen that, thanks to the Helix Access Granted site, that Ilaria is not at least directly involved with this place. We know that Michael is not Ilaria.
Right.
Yes.
But
whatever his backstory is, he's not Ilaria.
But we also know that this place is the source of where the infection that started killing Silvers was.
Yes.
And it's basically ravaged their numbers. So if we think about it, Alan could be looking for that.
Well, but that's 30 years later. I mean, for all we know, it has yet to have left the island, which is the point when they bring up that gets Alan's attention saying, look, it was already affected these people from a ship. And that's when Alan got concerned, like, okay, I'll go to your lab and see what you got, because he was concerned to hear that it had already almost made its way completely off the island.
Right.
So I don't think this has yet to affect the Silvers.
This is the episode we get mycopaths in, right? We get the name.
Yeah,
Mycopaths.
Mycopaths.
Yeah, so now we have a name, like the vectors.
So
we got
vectors, mycopaths, and Ziz.
Yes.
Green Ziz.
Yeah, so we don't know
Hashtag
what
pusses.
Sergio's role is at Ilaria.
Except looking like
$1 million.
50
Shades.
of
I love that
Sergio.
somebody's been tweeting out the hashtag 50 Shades of Sergio. And it
I
makes me
think
happy.
someone sent me one of the 50 Shades posters, like the one that says "Curious," but it's Sergio, like yeah, I'm very, very curious to see what's going on with these plot lines. I love how quickly Alan, once he got in there, was just sort of like asking all the right questions, and he's just such a CDC pro. That's why he's the head of the CDC.
I really know how to ask questions, Matthew Lieberman.
He's not the head of the CDC.
I am the head of the CDC.
Never ever been.
That's from the strain, not Helix.
Oh, right, you're right.
God dang it,
Too many
Matt.
CDC shows on the television. All right, let's move around a little bit. We can circle back.
Let's talk about Double Dick Texas.
Double Dick Texas, Dr. Dick Texas.
Now he's double Dick Texas.
No, he's
Wait,
double Dr. Dick Texas.
He's Dithalia, Texas.
Yeah.
No, we're not going there.
Texas.
Even with this show, we're not going there.
How about, okay, we'll stick to Double Dick Doc Texas.
I just
Dr.
like
Dick
that.
Texas.
I just like that Matt wrote Dick Texas Honey.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a great label for some sort of like promo.
Well,
for
when you're
this
gonna
food.
honeypot Dr. Dr. Dick Texas.
Which is
My name
That's
is
what
Dick
Amy's
Texas.
doing.
We got honey butt.
My family's been brewing up the finest golden honey.
You brew honey?
We've been brewing the finest golden honey. We let all those fuzzy little bumblebees fly around in the most beautiful orchard you ever seen.
Our honey's the only honey.
Because I am Dr. Dick Texas.
Our honey's the only honey to be registered by the AARP.
What?
All right, what's
He's
the
like
Rifle
25.
Association?
You're thinking of the NRA?
Still, somebody mute him.
Completely different.
That was the worst thing I've ever said.
Okay, listen
Dr.
up.
Dick
Listen
Texas.
up. He is still not over getting attacked by all those children. He wants to know what is up with that, and he tells Brother Michael what for. Hey, I know that you brainwashed them dumb kids.
I know it.
Yeah. And Brother Michael's like, what? And he's like, oh, I know that you brainwashed them dumb kids.
He
He's
knows
like,
it.
We never, ever brainwash nobody. Walks out of the room with a stone face on.
He's mad.
Yeah. So the big thing for Dr. Dick Texas this week is that he discovers that it is the honey that is secreted out of that hive in the wall there that got all the people sick. It is maybe the reason why that bee sting kick-started that other guy at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, which is confusing to me because
Because they said it wasn't the bees.
I guess he had honey on its stinger.
But
I mean,
could
or
he,
pollen, maybe.
or Dr. Dick Texas is being a dick and not following through on his research? Like, when did they confirm that it wasn't from the bee?
Well, actually, no. Peter said maybe it was the bees as well. He's like, I don't know. I hope it's not. I nearly got stung.
Well, they say that
He said it definitely wasn't.
Yeah, they say the bees aren't the carrier. What honey's made with bees collecting the pollen and things like that, so I think it's probably plants that the bees are harvesting from that are doing it.
That makes sense.
well, yeah, because of all the things that.
But it's causing the honey. It's causing the honey to be contaminated as well.
Well, think about it. The guy is into botany and stuff, right? They're creating these trees and these different plants and stuff that don't naturally exist in nature. So whatever they're fumbling around with, it could have turned into like the bees collecting pollen from these new plants.
How?
It's almost like they're playing God and then paying the price.
Guys, let me throw out something here real quick.
Throw it out.
So, I knew what you meant by that.
Can you guys just like kiss already?
No.
Please.
So you know how he's bonding? He's basically bonding plants together through germination and all that kind of stuff. Like he's trying to create hybrids of plants doing that.
Yeah.
What if he's created so different types of new plants and it's not even them creating this new disease? What if the bees have done it by cross-pollination
That's what
of
I
these
said.
different plants? Yeah, but I said it different.
That's what she just said. You literally just took her idea and claimed
stolen.
it was your own.
So that's the,
I actually didn't understand what
that's
you
the
said.
Jeff
working-
Goldblum style theory
Yes.
of nature finds a way.
Yes. So
kill
let's
everyone.
just make an AfterBuzz TV record. Liz Rishmawy came up with the theory
Thank you.
that the bees are responsible for taking these
pollen from
crossbred
these weird plants.
and putting them together in a messed up way, and the honey is the result that causes people to go crazy, or should I say, they go mycopathic.
That'd be the bee's knees.
Yeah.
That would be
Or mycotic, I guess.
my cut.
Bees. Yeah.
Mycotic.
Sorry, somebody had to do it.
You guys, but look.
By the way, if you're watching right now, look at me. I see you right here. Hit that thumbs up button.
Yeah.
Do it
You
right
can do
now.
it.
We're even giving you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
Well, okay.
Okay, that was 5 seconds. Now hit that thumbs up button.
So can we go back to Sergio for a moment? 'Cause we
Please.
started talking about him and then we got derailed.
Please.
Because last time we saw him, he was one half of Banana.
Yeah. He was one half a banana. What happened?
Like his whole mission at that point, like why he stormed back into the base, was to find what they did with those children. That like presumably he was one of the children. That was our theory. At least.
Yeah.
I have to think he is now invaded. Like he is working Ilaria from the inside.
So he's a double agent.
Yes.
Double dick Sergio.
I mean,
Stop
why would he give up that in? He was already working for the company. Why would he give up the in to like the people he's trying to investigate to like go on a renegade mission against them.
And he would have been the one to vouch for Julia entering Ilaria.
I like that
Makes
theory
sense.
a hell of a lot better than he's just evil now, because that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
No, that would be going back on all the character growth that he had last year.
Yeah.
So I think we are. I think there was a tease. Like I think he is absolutely still on the side of good.
So my question to you is, okay, this is so weird because all the politics are at play and things like that. Alan was calling Sergio. Peter was. I keep missing up there. Peter was calling Sergio, talking about the island and things like that. Meanwhile, Sergio is at Ilaria, okay, and that means that Sergio knows that Alan was the traitor in the first season. Do you think Sergio
Alan wasn't the traitor?
That Peter was the traitor? I'm sorry, I keep messing up their names. That Peter was the traitor in the first season. Does that also mean that Sergio knows that Peter was the one who set the scythe free?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he does know that.
Yeah, he would know that, and if he's going to be working undercover within Ilaria, he has to play along. He can't let Peter know that
and as a former military operative, he's smart enough to know when he has an advantage, and he's not going to let it go just to slip Alan some info. Also, there's no reason for us to believe that he and Alan have been in any contact since Arctic Biosystems.
There's no reason to think that him and Alan are on the same side. Like, look, Sergio wants to track down those kids, but he may not consider Ilaria as a whole to be evil.
Yeah.
That's true.
We don't know we still don't know the inner workings of Ilaria.
Yeah.
Like, I could still totally see a twist where, other than this Narvik thing, Ilaria's not full bad.
I mean, they're saying it's a major corporation, so it's like what does it do aside from like, okay, it's the undercover for the silvers and stuff like that.
Random thought: what if the kids were at the island? What if the kids that were taken to the island, and this is another set of kids?
No, because they were taken to Arctic Biosystems.
Yeah, but they're taken
a lot
multiple
of them
places.
died. Well, no, but then a bunch of them got taken elsewhere.
Oh.
And theoretically, that's what Sergio became.
Well, speaking of kid theories, let's talk about Brother Michael and his creepy family and the even creepier pictures on the wall, because we only got 10 minutes before we go to predictions, so we gotta talk about it. Here is the working theory from this Lieberman, okay? If Brother Michael is a silver, which I now believe,
Which we
now believe and do not know for sure,
We have no idea.
yeah.
which we now believe,
Syfy would never let us know ahead of time.
yeah, they would never put that in the end promo.
Yeah. Why would they do that? That's just a big spoiler.
Listen, I think Brother Michael is a silver. I think that he's been on that island for a long time, and I think that all three of those women in front of him are his daughters.
Ew.
And
who
wives.
he then banged and had more daughters with.
Okay, the less bad version, what if these are not from the... Like, they're all his children, but they're not, like, the same... They're not... Like,
He doesn't bang his kids, but he does bang every other woman who comes to the island.
yeah, he, like, gets... So they're, like, they all have different mothers, but they're effectively half-sisters.
Yes.
Okay,
Liz.
so, they already mentioned that there's that weird scene where they said we have to do this for Mother. So we have no... There could be... We don't know.
Ooh, we don't know who Mother is.
We don't know who Mother is.
Where would we be without Mother?
Two, there was the scene where he was talking about how everybody was mourning, and he's like, I'm mourning too. And they said, well, the girl who got killed by the guy, she lost a baby, and, it's our family. He goes, my family. Like, that was probably his baby.
It was his baby.
It was his baby.
Well, the scene where she got killed, crazy Derek, he was like, you laid with him and you liked it.
Yeah, but they didn't mention Michael, but
Yeah,
we know
but
it is
who
Michael.
else
Like, yeah,
would
obviously.
it be?
I mean, it could have... I was thinking when I first saw it, like, it could be anybody, because, like, they've sort of set up this, like, weird collective thing. And
We're all on our
and
paths.
if he's on... Well, my thought process was if it's, like, a whole, like, place of like bioengineering and like picking two different plants and like putting them together to create a better plant. It's like genetic selection. Like, okay, you have really good eyes and you have a really good backside, so we're gonna put two of you together. And
why? What do those two have?
Because eyes and butt.
Because the one with the good backside didn't have good eyes, and then you put them together.
Okay, I just heard backside and taking eyes, and I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because
But
he's zoned.
let's think
example, but you understand what
Let's think hypothetically that woman that her boyfriend killed was the woman who we saw whose teeth got pulled out and got stuff shoved down her, and she was pregnant because of that.
What?
Or Michael had gotten her pregnant and then did that post-pregnancy.
Okay, so you're saying that what we saw in the first episode that we thought was them infecting someone with the disease is actually taken out of context and is in fact someone being impregnated with some kind of plant baby.
No. I'm saying if she was impregnated and then after she was impregnated, Michael had her done that, they put the stuff down her to change the baby inside of her.
No, because they ripped out teeth and stuff.
Yeah, and she had teeth before she died.
Yeah.
She had plenty of teeth. More than enough.
She was a shark.
I don't know that.
Shark.
I mean, could that be... Could that process be the old school version of how to create a silver?
Or no, because here's the thing. The whole scene with the guy saying being jealous about him laying with her or whatever, like that wouldn't have happened. I think maybe that scene with the woman, maybe that's just like, what if they decide to leave? Because they've mentioned before, like, oh, so you just let people leave? Like, or do you like, oh, they choose their own path? So, you know, as far as like, you never said that there were people out on the island. Like, are those the people who decided to leave? And he kind of is very vague about the answer. So what if that scene was when after like one of the women just like, I didn't want to be a part of this anymore, blah, 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 blah. And that's what they do to the people who try to leave. Whatever it was that they were doing.
It's possible. I think that also makes sense too.
Yeah,
also,
that's a cult thing that's going on here.
Yeah. The question is, because we brought up
There's only one?
Well, we brought up that idea last week of there being a collective, almost like the others on Lost, of these mycotic people living out in the woods. A whole second family. Daddy's got a second family. And I'm wondering if this baby was supposed to be part of this family where everyone is, where he's just a man and everyone has their own lives, or second family where he is God and king of all of these mycotic crazies.
What if Soren, the guy from 30 years later, what if that's Soren? What if that's the kid that went missing?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I just thought because he was cured.
And he's the only one still alive.
And the guy looks a little older than 30. He looks like 30-something. If that kid was 10, he could be like 40. That fits the age that the actor looks like.
That fits. That's a good call.
Yeah. I like that idea. Also, just because we're out of time, we got to go to predictions. Sarah kept trying to get Soren's mom to help her find Soren. She faked a bear, and then she got stabbed in the belly.
Stabbed in the belly.
That's what happens when you lie. When you lie, you get stabbed.
My immortal baby's gonna die. Oh.
Okay.
Let's move into predictions.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ
It was Justin Timberlake with abortions.
No.
No more baby inside of me.
So, first of all, all right, give him that one. Because you deserve it. But... okay, here's first things first. I want to apologize for earlier in the episode where some of you who may not have wanted to receive a piece of information may have gotten it inferred by us. And I want to make it clear.
Very subtly.
I want to make it clear, first of all, that we apologize if any of you feel spoiled by that. That was not our intention. We didn't want to be spoiled by the Syfy promo, which clearly has a shot of...
Michael.
A shot of Michael. Spoiler alert. Stop listening if you don't want to hear this out loud.
Spoiler alert.
Thank you. Of Michael having silver eyes. He is a silver. He is.
That was like that has to be like a major reveal. Unless they do it like the only thing I can think is that they do it like up top in like the first like 10 minutes.
Right.
And it's just like it's something that they're just like boom, cold open. By the way, he's a silver, and then we move on from there.
But still, it would have been nice to have that like pondering in my head for the next week. It's like there's enough going on where I'm gonna tune back in Syfy.
I mean, I guess that's a good way to get people to tune in.
I guess.
Well, when you show a clip like that, it makes me think there's going to be an even bigger reveal.
I hope so.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if it's early on, then it's not like the big reveal. It's just like a, hey, look, this is crazy
Because,
stuff.
like, let's face it, we are halfway through this season right now. Oh wait, no, it's a 13 episode season, not a 10 episode. I don't know why I confused it. But still, we're getting up there in episodes, and we've been laying a lot of track, but I'm not seeing it go anywhere, and I really need some confident steps.
5
forward.
episodes in, it's time for it to take a jump.
Yes, like it was last year.
God.
What?
I just thought of something that's kind of terrifying and really creepy at the same time.
Well, it's predictions, so.
You know the woman who got her teeth pulled out and injected and like filled with stuff?
Yeah.
That's Mother. And it's kind of like, it's like a beehive in that all they do is keep her alive and experiment on her and have her pop out babies.
Mother and Queen Bee, that fits.
That fits. Whoa, that's
and they're
really
filling
cool.
her with that honey to bond the babies to try to make the next level of humans and make what Steven's trying to make.
I just thought of the episode of
So if Mother was I think Mother's a silver too, and that's why her teeth grow.
You mean what Michael's trying to make?
Oh, that would finally answer why last year Jerry Ryan was filing her teeth down.
So what they're doing is, oh my God, maybe. Okay, let me go with this, guys.
Go, run, take the ball.
Okay, Brother Michael is trying to develop something that will kill silvers because he has a silver and he keeps developing these new plants and this new serum, and he pulls the teeth and then puts the serum in to see if the teeth grow back. If the teeth grow back, it didn't work. Oh. Because if the teeth grow back, she's still immortal. But if they don't grow back, so he's trying to make it so the teeth don't grow back.
That fits with the theory, because we talked about this a few weeks ago, of that this island, if he is a silver, he's clearly defected from Ilaria, so he could be a silver who wants to destroy all the others immortals, which would then, in theory, if once Alan finds that out, would work with Alan and him are working together now.
Yeah.
And to spread this disease.
Yeah. Hashtag writing.
Oh, love that. Also, what if those barrels were just full of teeth and nothing else?
Well, then that'd be a mighty fine brew.
But then we only see one teeth.
We only saw one that was lodged in the side of the barrel after it had already been taken off.
Oh my God, if they were just all teeth?
and brought back. If all of those barrels were just full of teeth.
And they're dumping the teeth where the bees are collecting the flowers and things, and that's bringing it all into the stuff.
Wait. Remember all the graveyard?
The bones.
With all the bones. Like, what if there were multiple ones? Because they said that I don't know if they were male and female, but the one skull they picked up said female. Mm-hmm. So what if there were multiple women that they did this to? Like, and then the ones that died, they just dumped their stuff.
So what if he's breeding silvers and killing them just to develop a better poison?
Yeah, and then that's why there's all those bones there.
So the first season's a poison against humans. The second season is a poison against vectors.
But no, against silvers.
Silver. That's what I mean.
I like that.
I miss vectors.
Yeah.
Ziz.
I miss telling people where they can find us.
Yeah,
He's trying to say we're out of time.
I guess we are out of time. So, folks, we will be back next week with an all-new episode. Please tune in either on YouTube or on iTunes.
With Neil Napier!
Yes, with special guest Neil Napier, who plays Peter on the show. So, if you have questions for Neil Napier, you better send them to us on Twitter using the hashtag Ziz, Z-I-Z, or the hashtag ABTV Helix. Stephen Lemieux, where can the people find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Stephen Lemieux. That's STEPHENLEMIEUX, or in a Jack in the Box commercial, hashtag you butter believe it.
Oh, God.
Also on Better Call Saul tonight. Check it out. It's a great show.
Awesome. You guys can find me, Liz Rishmawy, on Twitter and Instagram at Lizzie Mawy. That's LIZZYMAWY. And I'll tell you about what other future projects I'll be working on if you follow me.
All right, guys, you can follow me on Twitter at @ZachWilson, THATZACHWILSON. Whole bunch of shows here at AfterBuzz. Grimm,
Better Call Saul.
Agent Carter, just a few more weeks of Better Call Saul with these two crazy guys over here later tonight. Thanks for tuning in.
Oh, yeah. I want to give a few quick shout-outs to folks in the chat roll. One, Lanavis, one, Destiny Morna, The Rocket Clock, Ryan Watallison,
Yahim Bostic. And that's people who are commenting. If you want to get a shout-out, go ahead to iTunes, rate and comment, or join us in the chat room.
Yeah. You can find me, Matt Lieberman, and on Twitter at Matt Lieberman, MATTLIEBERMAN. You can find all my videos on YouTube, youtube.com/C/Matt Lieberman, SourceFed, and SourceFed Nerd. Thank you all for joining us. See you next week. Good night.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Ziz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.